Good evening, and welcome to Nihon Nights, a modern-day Vampire the Masquerade Chronicles set in the prefecture of Chiba, Japan. Awakening for the night is Elias of Clan Salubri, played by Noscavian. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. If the API is working.
I'm clicking.
I have to reload it.
Yeah, let me try.
It's probably the API. We'll take this opportunity to say hello, Pixie. The API on Roll20 lately has been a nightmare. Okay, try it now. Marcelina of Clan Hakata, played by Larissa Rave. Please rouse to awaken for the night. You're getting hungry tonight. Slip of Clan Nosferatu, played by Vamp Daddy. Please do a rouse check to arise from torpor. You're also getting hungry tonight. Sato Rin of of the Gaki, kind of, played by Softinomicon. You do not need to rouse. And Kenun, also of the Gaki, played by Daybreakathon. You also do not need to rouse. We begin this week in the Coterie's Haven in Onikita. Kenun, as always, is the first to awaken in the Haven, and has awakened Sato, taking the opportunity to bring him downstairs to the front room. Kenun has already performed his morning ritual of clearing the tatami floor of obstacles, leaving but 2 large floor cushions in the room to sit upon. Kenun places himself near the back of the room, facing the large window. Although the Shinji and storm shutters have been drawn down to prevent any sunlight leaking in, small hints of the setting sun sneak their way through the minuscule gaps in the metal shutters. Kenun settles into his usual routine of reflective meditation. What would you like to do?
Let's say Sato goes to sit beside Kenun. Sort of just tries to mimic what's going on.
Straighten your spine, dear Sato Rin, so that your chi may flow unimpeded. Feel the ebb and flow of energy as it moves in you, dear one. Do not try to guide it, simply listen. Soon you will hear your part in the harmony of things.
Okay, I can do this.
Peace, friend.
What does peace feel like, actually?
If you sit, perhaps you shall learn.
Okay. He has like the weirdest expression on his face, like he's not sure exactly what he's doing.
And every so often, Kenun just sort of reaches over and corrects his posture.
You probably meditate for about half an hour to an hour before the rest of the coterie awaken and make their way downstairs, each taking a seat at the kitchen table as they assemble. Naomi and Akari each place a handleless cup of steaming hot green tea in front of each of the attendees. A moment later, the coterie hear the front door open and shut, as Slip, wearing very tattered clothes and bearing a dead tanuki that has sunk its teeth into his ankle, wordlessly enters and takes a seat at the kitchen table, as Akari hands him a cup of green tea while Naomi places a hand-delivered note on the table.
I will look at the note.
The note reads, "I have arranged travel for you to a place just outside Yamagata. A specially hired train just for you, and anything you may wish to bring awaits you in Taikani Kodan. It will take you to an area outside of Yamagata. and on the other side is a basic map that seems to be directing you to your new haven from the train station in Yamagata.
Right. Marcelina's gonna put that in her pocket, and she's gonna turn to her ghouls and say, "This time, you'll be coming with me. Go pack your things. We leave soon."
They just look at each other and they're like, "We're ready."
Good girls. All right then. You should help Elias's community to get ready as well. I'm sure they have plenty of things they need to bring with them before we head off.
His community?
Yes, that's the nice way of me saying his herd.
His cult!
His people. Yes, his cult, yes.
Right!
Yes, I'm trying to not use that as often as a kindness to my dear friend Elias. But yes, his cult. They're going to need help bringing their things, so.
Is Elias here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Marcelina. That's certainly appreciated. And, yes, any assistance you could provide my community would be most appreciated.
Oh, go ahead, Slip.
You're bringing the community?
Mm-hmm. Elias will need to eat, and considering where we're going, I think it's best to have his people with him.
Yes,
How
I'm
much
sure
time do we have?
Oh, we've got time. Why?
There's something I need to go handle. And, I need Kenun to come with me.
Kenun just nods.
Marcelina raises a brow and says, "Just Canoe?"
It's something I need to deal with alongside of someone who... I need to handle this as a Gaki.
One
So I
might
need
call it a
Kenun.
matter of faith.
Yes. Yes.
Well, before you leave, Kanun,
Yes.
dead Tanuki slammed on the kitchen table. I brought you a snack.
You say, a dead Tanuki.
That is how I believe Shiv described it.
Oh,
Yep.
dead.
I pretty fucking dead, I guess. I don't know.
The only reason it had sunk its
I
teeth into his
believe
ankle
it.
was because of rigor mortis.
If it's that dead, I think Kenun just sort of raises an eyebrow and gives a distasteful glance. No, thank you.
Canoe needs their hearts to still be beaten. Or at the very least, just recently stopped beating.
Oh,
Mm.
right. I'll give this a huck into the neighbor's yard then.
I'm sure they'll like the parting gift. With that, I am going to two things. I'm going to leave a sort of coded note for Violet and for Daisy. I'm sure Daisy and Violet will both be able to find their way, but just in case, it's something that I think they both readily be able to recognize. Okay, this is where they're at. And I am going to essentially order a extra people carrier for Eliza's herd.
I mean, the two ghouls, the girl ghouls, would have probably been able to organise that for you anyway. And I'd imagine right now they're
Wonderful.
shipping out the cult into the cult mobile.
Wonderful, delightful. That's why they're my girls. Okay, that's wonderful. So then just a quick coded message that I'll leave that they'll be able to find. It won't say exactly where we're at, just in case the note falls into someone else's hands, but sort of the general area, and then we can find them from there, should need be.
No problem. Sato, Kenon. Off on your private business?
Yes. Sato's gonna take Kanun back to his medicine shop.
Before Sato leaves, and Kanun leaves, Marcelino say you got 2 hours.
That should be just enough time.
All right then. See you later.
Sato.
I'm not sure if the medicine shop is driving distance or walking distance.
It'll be driving distance, and it'll only be 15, 20-minute drive.
I figure. On the drive over there, Kanun, there's something that I haven't really told anyone in the Coterie. Flip knows, but he doesn't know what I'm about to do. I have a ghoul that I realize I can't keep. I don't want to anymore.
Anu nods.
And I don't want them to know because I don't want them keeping him out of the cycle.
Nod.
I think I've started to really understand about.
I am glad, dear Sato Rin.
I'm not. He's a good boy. He's a sweet boy, and I know I have to do this.
But you have understood that it is time to relinquish such ties.
Yes, I need to let him. I need to set him back where he was supposed to go.
Another nod.
And whenever they get to the medicine shop, it's small back alley. It's got its shutter down, and Sato knows he knows how to get into the door. He has the key. He just walks in, and he immediately calls out for Misato.
He comes running like a child on Christmas morning as fast as he can, and he looks gaunt, neglected, and he is just clinging to you like a lost child in a shop. And where have you been? I've missed you. I need you. Where have you been?
I know. I am so sorry. I have been doing a lot, and it has been very hard to come back. But I'm here now. I'm here. And I'm here to help you. And I promise
Please.
I'm not going to leave you alone again.
Please, I need... No, I think that's how he's going to say it. I need more of you inside me.
I know. Let's go to the back. Come with me. And he's gonna bring him back to Sato's old lab. That's back there. Mixture of a lab and a opium house, basically.
Anu just sort of loitering nearby.
And he is still clinging to you like a limpet.
He's gonna put him into a chair. Please, sit there for 2 moments. Just a moment, and I'll be right back.
He sits down, and you'll notice that both of his hands are shaking.
And he's just gonna center himself, really think about what he's going to do. And he kind of walks over to Kanun. I have a question.
Ask it.
How should I be doing this? Should I just do it?
Why are you asking me, Sato Rin? Do you not
Maybe
already know the answer?
Maybe because I'm scared. I feel like I'm hurting him. But I know I'm just hurting him by letting him stay like this.
Do what is right, dear Sato Rin. It is not always easy.
I know. I don't want him to hurt. I'm gonna try to make this as fast as possible. And he's gonna walk back over to where Misato is, and he's going to wrap his arms around Misato from behind and just sort of hold him for a moment, and then with all force he has, snap his fucking neck in one motion.
I'm going to let you do that for free, but you're going to take 3 humanity stains. And he'll just let out
That's fair.
as you feel the neck
And
bones break underneath your hand. He violently shakes for but a moment, and then remains still under your grasp.
Sato's gonna hold him very close, and then he's gonna sit there for a minute as he doesn't fully know how to handle what he thinks he has to do.
Kennon's gonna let him have a moment. Yeah, no, he needs a moment. But then after that moment, he's gonna come over and place a hand on Sato's shoulder. And the first step to moving on, dear Sato Rin, is letting go.
I can't leave his body, now can I?
No. Such a thing would be unwise.
I have to do this. And Sato is going to proceed to eat the body. All of it.
Sato, you don't have the same kind of jaw capabilities as Kenon, so it takes you some time to slowly rip away the flesh, chew it, and digest it. But eventually you are able to dispose of the entire body. And as you do so, you come across a note from the accounting page in his pocket, and it shows that with the profits the way they were, he was only 1 week away from being able to retire.
Like I was gonna let him retire, he's my employee. Once Sato's done, he stands up and he kind of touches his stomach, kind of in a strange way, like a mom or like a pregnant lady would.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I just need to collect a few things,
Yes.
and then we can head back. And he's gonna go basically collect stuff from his room, like his actual things that he never actually got to bring.
And he's just sort of loitering nearby, leaning against a wall, waiting for Sato to conclude his business.
And once Sato's packed up the stuff he needs, he's... Oh.
Are you Kenon, or would you be throwing potential accelerant all over the place, ready to burn it down? I'm not joking.
That would be Daybreak doing that. No.
Okay.
No, Ken is just loitering. This is Sato's farewell.
Okay.
Once Sato has all of his things and he's ready to pull them out, he proceeds to go to the lab and grab his flammable chemicals and throw them all over the floor, all over everything, including the actual front shop as well. And he's going to grab one of the matches and from his front shop and set the whole thing on fire.
Perfect.
And then he's gonna we need to leave now.
And
the
as
two
they're
of you-
going, Kenun would just sort of... as they're leaving, Kenun would just sort of... The first time we spoke, dear Sato Rin, I believe I said to you, I pray that someday you shall find your Dharma. He just sort of grins. I believe you finally have.
I think you're right.
As I embody Yang, I believe you shall come to embody Yin. This is the way of things. You have found your place, darling.
I'm glad his soul can finally rest.
Indeed.
All right.
And the two Gaki walk away from the shop, their backs turned to the blazing inferno raging behind them, as sirens wail in the distance, getting ever closer. Eventually the two make it back to the haven, catching up with the Coterie, and are currently filling their people carrier with various goods and supplies they couldn't possibly leave behind. And you meet with them outside on the street.
I think Marcelina would be packing in a couple suitcases, which I'm sure you could pretty much imagine what they're filled with. But she's packing them into the back of the people carrier, and I think she's going to look at Sato. What is Sato's expression at this moment?
It's the best description of Sato's expression is a mixture of... It's the expression you get at the funeral of an older loved one. There's sadness, but there's also peace.
All your things handled?
Yes. Said
Good.
my goodbyes. Ready to go on.
Well then. Rest of you lot ready to go?
Beg pardon, I must first go retrieve my brick.
Selena will nod and then get in the driver's seat.
Slip's bringing everything he had with him here, which wasn't a whole lot. And he did take time to... The backyard of the house, is it enclosed in any way, or is it just open?
No backyard.
We don't have one.
No backyard?
Yeah, all the buildings are kind of pressed up against each other pretty much.
Well, that Tanuki ended up in a dumpster somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's bringing his field kit and anything he had available other than that at the house. It wasn't a whole lot, but he's grabbed for the most part what he has. Would it be beneficial to me to stop by my haven on the way to where we're going to get things?
Only if you think there's stuff in there that you need.
Yes, of course, Slip. If you don't plan to come back, there's no reason to stop. But if you, if there's something in there that you'd like, then perhaps we should stop. I suppose
maybe just to check in on the place. I haven't been there in quite some time.
All right then. Now there's a thing about the body parts in the freezer. Should we just leave it, or?
That was in the other haven.
Nope. It's in this one. There's a
Okay.
freezer full of body parts.
Okay, then both havens had them.
Yep.
Because I had the thought, and I was like, oh no, wait, that was in our shared haven. Okay.
Nope. there was some in this one too.
Yep.
I don't
Why
mind
am I
leaving
not
it,
surprised?
but
Up to you guys. Doesn't bother me.
well, Marcelina, now you'll have to tell me if this will work because they've been in there for a long time. But if it'll work, she'll use ashes to ashes on the body parts and get rid of
that'll
them.
absolutely work.
Okay.
And again, I'll let you
she'll
have it for
stick
free.
the ashes. She'll stick the ashes in like a large plastic bag and she'll seal it up. And then with like the gardening supplies that the community has, she'll like just shove it in there as like help for fertilizer and just stick them in there before getting it back into the driver's seat and waiting for the rest of the coterie to be ready.
Elias,
Slip.
what are you taking with you apart from your cult followers?
I mean, that's pretty much all Elias has. He doesn't really have many belongings, I don't think. He's going to take the stuff he has that he always brings around with him. I imagine his followers will probably be packing up their things and anything they can into like a van or something, because we're not all going to fit in one car.
And don't forget your bountiful bandana collection.
Yes.
Imagining a duffel bag stuffed full of pamphlets.
Yeah, so some pamphlets, some bandanas. What else does... that?
That's really all Elias has.
Yeah, and Kenu doesn't even have a bag. He just walks out holding just his dented brick.
Some sandals. Elias has some sandals. I imagine he has a comb.
Some oils for his beard.
I imagine Elias is the sort of person that has Crocs.
Open-toed shoes at any time.
Yeah, open-toed shoes, definitely.
But does he wear them,
Yeah.
with the little heel thing up, or does he go speed mode and have it down and the back round his ankle?
That was sport mode.
Sport
speed.
mode.
Yeah. He's going speedy. He's not gonna have no thing on the back. I think Marcelina is going to as soon as everybody's in the car, she's just gonna take off, like no preambling outside the space as they head off.
And Elias, just before that, Elias probably would have seen people carry with his cult off, made sure they were going to be safe, and they'll probably
Elias would have
singing
given
something terrible.
Yeah, Elias would have given each and every one of them a hug.
I imagine Naomi's driving. And I'm forgetting the other one's name.
Akari.
But they're probably the navigator. Yeah, Kari. Her driver and navigator. in the front of their car. Yeah. I think Marceline actually will wait for them to go first and then head off that way, just in case we need to stop and do some other things in the meantime.
And you wanted to go to Slip's Haven? Correct?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah. Yes, please.
That's the fun. Okay. Yeah, so that's where Marceline will be headed, in that direction.
And the people carrier pulls up in the farmlands outside Slip's Haven, parks up near the disguised metal shed, and head down into the loose stone path. Slip leading the way, opens the false door, and takes them all into his personal haven filled with various computer technology.
How does the haven look? He hasn't been back in a couple of weeks, and it's a process of continually repairing and going deeper. Is it still functional?
You were smart enough to turn the most important things off. It's vented, it looks dusty, but nothing's caved in There hasn't been a major earthquake or anything like that. So nothing's caved in yet.
Okay. Alright. Using kind of the supplies that are on hand down there already, and his experience with this haven, he's just going to do some spot work. Just prop things up, reinforce areas, just real quick. Make sure that it's still here when he comes back.
Yep. Anything you want to grab from the haven? Oh, carry on.
I think, given what they're going to be doing, he'll grab something a little more powerful than what he's got in his field kit. I think he'll grab his primary computer, a monitor, pack it all up in a box. A single medium-sized box worth of additional tech for him to use. That way, if something happens to his field kit, he doesn't have nothing.
Are we all down there with you?
Yep.
Very potentially.
Okay. I think Marcelina would, as he's like spot repairing, would probably have a little smile on her face and then say to him, so, you do plan on coming back?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's good to have a location B, right?
It is. Your behavior as of late, not that perhaps I don't know, this was gonna be the last stop on the train.
Oh, we'll see, I guess, but no, hopefully not.
Good. Rat, so she like picks up the box that has your computer stuff in it and says, "This it?"
Oh, so thoughtful. Yeah, that's it for now.
Marcelino will bring it to the car and then stay there.
Yeah, we'll follow her out.
You
On
don't
the
wanna
way out, are there any...
You don't want to leave a message for someone over an instant messenger or anything like that?
He could do that on his phone if it comes up. Ooh, one thing he will do is he's gonna grab that cursed lucky fucking cat, and he's gonna whip that bitch out into the woods as hard as he can as they leave.
Okay. No problem. And you'll reunite with the Coterie and the People Carrier. Marcelina, of course, taking the driver's side, guides the packed vehicle through the claustrophobic streets of Onakita and heads towards Taikani Kodan Station. As you all drive through, is there anything you would like to talk about? Bless you. That monitor is very dusty.
Yep.
Sorry.
You're fine. It's a rare thing for me to sneeze anyway. Right. So, how are we all feeling?
They're pretty good.
I'm doing rather well. The tea this morning was nice, and my followers seem to be in a happy mood.
You feeling, God, what is the word? And you could see she was like going through the Rolodex of words that people use.
Ooh, I love this game. What does it mean?
Are you mentally okay after everything that happened at the temple, alas? When, that a woman kicked your ass.
Elias would give out a heavy sigh. He's like, yes, Marceline, I am a bit sad that we were not able to convince her, or at least stop her. However, there is a silver lining. She did not achieve her goal of using me to further her agenda as a pawn. I am disappointed with my own performance. That's the first time I've ever been so thoroughly knocked down, mentally speaking. It's definitely something I need to think of.
Is it?
Well, two things. What
Yes,
did you learn?
Marceline. Well, I suppose perhaps if I don't know if I would have implemented one of my disciplines first, if that would have been sufficient, but it was clear that she was far more powerful than we had anticipated. And I suppose I need to be aware of the power of others.
Well, second thing is, you could put in a request of the family to handle her if you so wished it.
Well, she is helping mortals, even if it is for very selfish reasons and it is a false path. I feel like having someone coldly assassinated for that is not respectful.
Oh, well.
Plus, surely we may want an opportunity in the future to even the odds
Well,
ourselves.
I didn't say that she would have to be assassinated, just that she could be handled by the family. They may find her useful and not needing of killing just yet. But she'd be out of your hair. I doubt that's the last time we see her. I do like, though, that when I say that, your first thought is murder. That's nice. I think I'll take the responsibility for that thought. It fills me with pride, but yeah, it's not
yours.
necessarily.
Marcelina, my first thought was not murder, but rather just the ability to not be beaten so badly. To maybe, put her in her place so she wouldn't feel like I feel. Oh, so she would have to feel like I feel completely beat. I don't want her dead.
Oh, well, we take requests.
I appreciate
Just an
the
option.
offer.
It's just an option. Think on it, and then come back to me.
Very well.
Yeah, I think anyway, like as she's strapping, Marcelina one-handed would send a message to the family with just the name, so that they're aware of her presence.
No problem. They'll send you something back along the lines of, we'll be looking into it, she'll be monitored. I apologise for the buffering issues, by the way. No idea what's going on. All I can think of is the fucking typhoon that's rolling in. It's big.
Yeah. Yeah, other than that, Marcelina will just, peaceful drive.
Marcelina brings a people carrier into a nearby car park around the corner from the train station. As the car passes by the station, the undead inside catch sight of a train already pulled up on one of the platforms. Its bright lights the only thing alive inside the station's building. The Coterie disembark from the parked-up people carrier and head towards the station, finding the main entrance that has been blocked off by rows of cones. A station guard stands outside the set of stairs. No, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. There it is. I'm right. The Coven approach the man, who bows deeply to them and tells them their car will be kept safe before he moves the cones aside, allowing the Coterie entry to ascend the escalator, scan their Pasgo cards, and descend down to the platform and a waiting train. Its doors already open, the Coterie board each carriage, settling in of their own and ensuring all of their most important belongings are already on board. Elias finds a carriage bearing his followers and boards as the doors shut behind him. Slip and Marcelina enter into a carriage near the front of the train, as Sato is held back by Ken-un, so that they may get a carriage to themselves also. With all of the train doors shut and passengers and their belongings on board, the train winds into life and slowly accelerates away from the platform. As the train gathers speed, heading through the humid night towards the mountainous area of Yamagata, Elias, is there anything you'd like to do or say with your followers?
Yes, I would go over to my followers. We'd kind of get a little group together. How has everyone been? I know it's been some time. I've been away in another part of Japan, but I've come back and I wanted to touch base and see how everyone's doing.
One of them will step forward. How do they address you? What would be your title?
Oof, I never really thought about that. I guess they could either call me Elias or Brother Elias. We'll just go with that.
Brother Elias, you brought us a new follower, although we did lose one. But all in all, we have been well. We've even stopped enjoying the more carnal pleasures of each other. We thought it might be more pleasing for you.
Oh, well, you certainly need not do that. I mean, you're free to live your life how you see fit. The purpose of seeking enlightenment is to look introspectively and find a path of fulfillment for yourself. Each person's path is personal to themselves.
So we can have the orgies?
I don't see why not. No one should be forced to participate, or no one should be withheld from participating. It should be
of course
their
not.
choice.
Consent
solely.
is sexy.
Exactly. Yes, this isn't some sort of Puritan cult or something of the sort. This is a community of like-minded individuals.
Well, we're very glad to have you as our guide.
And I am glad to guide you and the other followers on their own personal journeys towards enlightenment.
Are there any special instructions or new teachings you can bestow upon us? Be excellent to each other.
Thank you, Chef. Yes, I believe everyone should be totally rad, and they should all be excellent to one another. And they'll do the like guitar thing.
Glad you just got the reference, to be honest with you.
Totally rad.
I don't have a camera, but I also did the air guitar.
Elias Proclamation number 21. Be totally rad.
Slip, Marcelina.
I feel...
You are in front of the train, able to watch the driver in his small, isolated cabin and the scenery pass by. Buildings, shops, and general signs of civilization suddenly give way to open fields and trees. Is there anything you would like to talk about or do?
I mean, Marcelina's probably cleaning some weapons at the moment.
Slip is doing two things right now. He is, one, minorly, while they were at his haven, collecting things, he would have procured from his stash a small bag of dried crickets, and he is popping them in his mouth one at a time, one by one. And while he is doing that, he is kind of just checking out the electronics on the train, that it's the same as what he'll be dealing with, but it's similar enough that he's trying to familiarize himself with kind of the inner workings of how a train would function.
Cool. Yeah, I think as Marcelina's cleaning her guns, she would look over at what he's doing, and simply say, "Are you ready for this?"
Yeah, sure. I can only run from it for so long before it just, it's happening, and I've made my peace.
Did you think more on what you'll do after? Where you'll go? I mean, after we're done here in Japan.
Daisy offered that I could come with her, so that's an option. Obviously, you put forward that the family is also an option, and that sounds great, actually. I feel like I'd get a lot more wet work under my toes than making sure Daisy's not OD'd every night. And then I imagine what will actually happen, regardless of what I do or don't want, is that Violet will put me in an oversized pet carrier and take me to where she goes afterwards.
Well, Violet is on borrowed time, so you may want to figure out what you'll do after you get out of the pet carrier.
That depends where we're at that point.
I imagine she'll go home.
I don't know where that is. Do you know where she lives?
Well, I know
Typically.
she formerly was in the UK, somewhere there, so...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, London, Oxford, somewhere in there.
Oh, shit.
Is that not to your liking?
Nah. Yeah, not really.
Why's that?
It's a bit shit over there.
Ah,
Yeah.
so it's your sire.
To my knowledge, my sire is no longer with us.
You sure?
But I'm like 99% sure. That's what I was told, but if that's what he wanted me to think, then
Right.
you know.
Then here, I'll say this, a little lesson, something to know. Unless you see those ashes yourself, assume they're not dead.
Yeah, but go with Violet probably. Unless she's deceased, then the family seems cool. I feel like I actually get to do things that I want to do.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there's not too many. There's some for sure that are involved in your type of work that are within the family, but having a Nosferatu as skilled as yourself would be an asset. The family is very keen on making sure that they've got their assets straightened out.
No,
So?
fantastic. As you have seen, I am loyal to the point of being dumb about it, and you really, really gotta betray me for me to be like, you know what? Sunk cost. It's time to just walk away. So I'm good for it.
Well, I think a positive is this: the family is not. We're not Anarch. We're not the Tower, and we're not Spot. So you'd be free of those ties for sure. You stick with Violet, you're gonna have to be loyal to the Tower.
Oh,
Just some things to know.
well, sure. I don't know. Maybe when this is all over, if she is still with us, if there's a chance, perhaps I will simply disappear into the night and show up on one of your cousin's doorsteps, wedged into the doggy door or something,
Well, If that's what you'd like to do, I'll put a word out for you.
Ooh, all right.
That way they can at least expect you when you're coming.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Would you like to feed them a cricket?
Pardon me?
Would you like to feed them a cricket? Hold the bag of crickets out towards her.
No. That's kind of gross. You just eat bugs. That's...
Well, I'm not eating the bugs. The bugs in me are eating the crickets.
Oh,
But
well,
they're
in that
really
case,
in
yeah.
there. Yeah. No, I don't want you to
Grab-
feed me grapes like I'm a prince or anything.
She'll grab a cricket and wait for him to lift up the shirt so she could feed the bees.
Oh, well.
Or however he is feeding the bees.
He'll open his mouth and one of them will just kind of crawl up onto the tongue.
Right. That is disgusting, but absolutely fascinating. And she'll go to feed it, the cricket.
It'll back ass first down his throat again.
That doesn't feel weird. That doesn't feel uncomfortable at all.
I'm used to it. You do
Is
it
that
enough, you
something-
get used.
Is that something you could always do? I mean, like when you woke, you just had the bees, or is that something you learned to do after?
You know, I did not wake up full of bees. I'll tell you that.
Fascinating.
not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's good.
No, it is something I picked up a couple of decades in. You know,
Yeah.
because I mean, the hornets they're nocturnal anyway, and it's rough out here.
Really?
There was near where I was staying at the time, there was a small, shall we call it, a community of the hornets, and one night I got really fucked up, and they took quite a liking to me, because they're predatory and the scent of blood and all that, so they just started supping, and I didn't really stop them, and I really thought about what that could mean and what it does to humanity, and I was like, well, what if? And now I'm full of bees.
Right. So...
Which... It hurt for the first couple months while they were sort of making space for themselves, you know?
Acclimating? Yeah, I imagine. That was a strange, uncomfortable process.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, interesting. So there's nothing in there except, what, catacombs? Things in there for them to reside?
I've never really scoped it, like with a little camera or anything, but, I mean, all a kindred is a coffee pot, you know? There's the neck where things go in and out, there's the vessel for holding fluid, and then there's the ego right on top, driving the whole thing. And there just happen to be bees in here. I mean, the organs are all fucking useless.
Right. See, I feel the same way. Just a bunch of walking skin.
Although I do have the second stomach now, so that's been useful.
Is that where you held the boom gel?
Yeah, well, it was anti-boom gel that I had hoped to vomit onto myself before boom. But essentially, yes. And I imagine eventually the bees will get to that too, but for right now, they're avoiding it.
Huh. Well. I think at this point you see that Marcelino's almost looking at you like a science project. And trying to figure out, like, where stomachs and things are, right? And she's just kind of holding a little switchblade in her hand, kind of, like, tapping on the handle a little bit as she's looking at you.
Slowly unzip his outer coat and roll his shirts up and just let her look at the fucking tragedy that is his torso.
She's not shy, and so she's like right in there and kind of like, hey little bees, and like kind of poking about looking at his stomachs and such.
The belly is nearly concave, like emaciated. The ribs are very pronounced. It looks for the most part like a... You're not sure where that part starts and ends, but like someone starved to death in like a desert. It's very mummified down there almost, and the ribs are very pronounced. But there are these holes that go in and out, and they're lined with like a red paper, like a some sort of trap door or something they use to go in and out. It's fucking weird shit, but
Oh, Marcelina's having the time of her life right now. You see she goes to her bag and she gets one of those like mini flashlights and she starts like peering inside with the light. Because for some silly reason vampires can't see in the dark. Unless they have special eyes. So she doesn't turn on her special eyes and just uses the flashlight to peer within. And
Shiv, what's in there, buddy?
yeah.
Go ahead. You
It's
look
a
like you're having
fucking
good time.
beehive!
Oh, fantastic.
Like honey or like how wasps have
Well, it's a hornet hive, so it would be like I think they still make hives out of wax, although hornets might steal existing hives. But it would be the hexagonal shape, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty grim thought.
Well, this is amazing. Yeah, I mean, Marcelina's like, this is incredible. She's completely fascinated. And she does have some dots of medicine, so she's like, lost in the brain right now about all that. If anyone were to walk in, she's like face first in his stomach, peering about at his hives, making friends with bees.
The toxin that they secrete from their bottoms is actually enough to melt human flesh.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, these things were
often.
born to fuck things up, and that's normal ones. I don't even know about these guys.
Oh yeah, well, so are we. Born to fuck things up. I mean, so
these guys. They've got no chill. They'll cover a lycanthrope. They don't give a shit.
Right. Well, that's useful. I don't know what you're so afraid of. You've got predators living in your stomach and are one yourself. I think you should give yourself a little more credit.
It's more concerned about the people who make a living out of successfully killing us. The social situations, depending on the context. And that's more anxiety than
I see.
fear, I guess.
I mean, I get by just fine.
Oh, yeah. It'll put a cricket in one of the holes. There you go.
Amazing. And then she starts doing it too. She starts like feeding them crickets through the holes. And then
That's just what we're doing, I guess.
Yeah, we're just having a moment here. And as she's doing that, she'll say, "So, you gonna talk to Sato?"
About what? What happened? What now?
Well, no, nothing's happened, but listen, I'm not very good at the peopling, but I am knowledgeable enough to know that they're kind of going through it. And sure, they're leaning on Canoon for a lot, but you're there. What is that word that you people use?
You people?
Paramour. Thank you. Yeah, you people with feelings. Yeah, you're their paramour, so
I mean, I don't really know what's going on with Sato right now, but I'm hoping whatever it is that he moves on.
I see.
I cannot imagine that spooning a dead guy full of bees is good for the cycle. And frankly, now that he has more going on for himself, he does not need to wallow in someone's closet with me. And I do not want that for him. And I have no intention of attempting to keep him where we are right now.
And if he chooses to remain? Marcelina says as she's like bringing down his shirt again.
Well, he'll zip himself back up. I imagine Kenun would probably agree with me. And then otherwise, I mean, he is Gaki. I am kindred. It's not gonna work.
Well, it's not going to work for Sato being Gaki either. You saw how they were with him. They're not very accepting.
He's gotta work it out. I mean...
Hey, there's no judgment. You do what you gotta do. I'm just curious. I've never really seen,
Right.
the kind of dynamic that you two have.
Yeah. I want good things for Sato Rin, and that does not include me.
Well,
hole.
If there's anything I've learned about Sato Rin, is that they've got their own plans, and they do involve you. So, just, well, maybe not wise words, but just some words from a person you are in a coterie with. You may have to push them away, because otherwise they're not going to let you go.
Yeah. That is definitely sort of the plan. That is why I sat up front with you, and not back where my lap was accessible. That's why I'm happy to join you up here.
I see.
I don't intend for there to be any sort of misunderstanding or uncertain terms. When we were kindred, it was isolation and loneliness and, a bond forged through, we all the other person had, really. That's not true for Sato anymore. He will have a much easier time blending in. He is no longer limited or cursed as we are, to that extent and differently, I'm sure. But I want better things for him. He is in a position to have better things. And I'm sure, positive even, that, as with many things in this coterie, no one will care what I want, and he will do it anyway. But I'm just gonna hold on for dear life and hope to survive.
Well, I can at least help you with one of those things. And Marcelina will sit him down and she'll begin teaching him about, not just about guns, which I'm sure he has some basic knowledge of, but how to use them properly, and she will, by the end of that, gift him with a handgun. And a few rounds.
Oh. Thanks. I'm better at making these than using them, honestly.
Well,
it's a different thing to, put something together than to aim it with skill and then deploy.
Well, we can work on that for sure. I mean, you do want to survive, don't you?
I don't think guns are going to help me survive.
They've never done me wrong.
Oh,
so
sure.
We get to have a backup.
Well, my method is typically, if I have to do it, you were back at the temple, If they don't see me coming, I squash the head like a grape and I move on with my night. It's, yeah.
Well, hey, I'm not going to stop you if that's your preferred method killing, but this is a just in case.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt to pick it up. I can teach you something if you want. A little something about computers, or maybe getting the fuck out of the way, or... I'm slippery. I'm covered in butter.
How about this? Right, I'll teach you about guns and how to properly shoot one.
Sure.
And you teach me how to do that slippery thing you do.
Absolutely.
All right then. Yeah. So the rest of the train ride, that's what Marcelina and Slip will be doing.
Sato and Kenon, you have the carriage to yourselves. Kenon is currently staring Sato down, with all three of his eyes blinking. You have a moment of relative peace together. Is there anything the two of you would like to talk about?
Kenun sort of steeples his fingers.
And
I
just
believe,
to
dear
reiterate as well, this is an actual eye now on Kenan's
Yeah.
forehead. It is no longer a jewel. It's possibly the first time you've seen it as an eye.
I believe, dear Sato Rin, that it is high time we spoke about what it means to be Gaki.
You know? Yeah. Actually, yeah. I would like to know that.
Yes. Well, I suppose to start I should tell you, darling, that we are a cursed people. Not cursed as the Kinjin are by the legacy of another's violence, but cursed by the shadow of our own hubris and disharmony. Each of us became as we are by, in life, falling out of harmony with the cycle. But the Gaki as a whole, our suffering as individuals is but a microcosm of our collective failure. We forgot our duty and so fell to ruin. Now the wise among us strive to shoulder the burden our ancestors abdicated. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Good. This is what we seek. This, dear Sato Rin, is enlightenment. The wise do not strive for power, nor for control, nor for freedom, nor even for peace. These things may come, but they are little more than petty consequence. The wise one knows his purpose, knows his place, occupies it wholly. To embody the cycle, to release attachments, to forsake ego. Find the quiet center at the heart of things, dear Sato Rin, and you may be, at last, as you were meant to be.
You say release attachments.
Yes.
What do the Gaki think about love?
Many things, dear Sato Rin.
I remember
What?
during the party.
No, carry on. I was simply going to ask what you mean by the question.
I just remember during the party. I felt terrified. I felt alone. And in the end, I guess it was proven why I felt that way.
Alas, you are correct.
The whole time I wanted to hold on. I don't know how to be happy anymore. Because I have what I wanted. I have my actual second chance. But I feel like it means I have to get rid of. I never knew love until I was already dead. And I don't want to lose the only person I ever really cared about. Is that an attachment I have to get rid of? Do I have to accept that?
Yes. Now, allow me to clarify. To release attachments does not mean to wholly forsake love. It does, however, mean to be as you are, and when you are done being as you are, when things come to their end, let them go. There is a time and a place for all things, and all things must come to their natural end within the cycle.
Is the cycle's end death?
No.
What is its end?
The next beginning.
I don't. I think I really am understanding the cycle. At least a little bit. But honestly, no bullshit from my end. Can I or can I not stay with Slip?
Kenoon kind of sighs, sits back. That, darling, is a difficult question. Had you asked me before the ball, I would have said unequivocally no. You are now Gaki, he is kindred. You have your dual souls, and he has none. An abomination under the cycle cannot be allowed to pass. However, it has come to my attention that certain teachers who I had been taught to respect were not as enlightened as they would have had me assume. Your situation, dear Sato Rin, is wholly unprecedented to my knowledge. I shall say, as things stand, perhaps they may be allowed to continue as they are for a while. However, when the time comes that things must come to an end, you must accept that.
Okay.
You remember that man? The Akuma we met together? The one called Goro who would not come to the daimyo?
Yes. I do.
And you remember the fatal flaw, the decision he made that was his end. He could not release attachments, though it was for his own benefit and for the benefit of those he sought to protect. He was a danger to them. Would you yourself see yourself become such a danger to the ones you love?
I think I can see that possibility, but I would consider that possibility to be the end. And I, as it stands now, do not believe myself to be a threat. So I want to stay as it is until I think I am a threat to them or myself. And then maybe I can convince myself to give up.
Kenan just sort of looks at Sato, three eyes just sort of looking very deeply into his psyche, just looking
As
at
the
him.
train heads swiftly through the night, the two Gaki feel something akin to a dark, cold shadow come over them. And despite the bright fluorescent lights in the car, Sato and Kenon feel shaky, weakened. To Sato, it is similar to the few times he has been unable to feed when he was kindred. The both of them seem to have become far more pale, their breath even far colder.
Kenan sort of falters, grabbing the seat for support.
Oh. What was that?
Crossed into defiled land. Not just defiled, but empty. I've not felt such agony since the firefight at Hiroshima.
I have a question. As we pass into this space, would Marcelina be able to, sort of sense the same thing, but with Oblivion Sight?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope. Not in this area.
Okay.
Good thinking, though. The train makes its way beyond Fukushima, as colour and strength returns to the Gaki. as it carries on, leaving the built-up area of Fukushima behind them. The train, however, begins to come to a halt in an abandoned station in the middle of the countryside. The mountains of Yamagata lay before them, but up in the first carriage the driver has left the cabin, leaving Slip and Marcelina to wonder what the reason for the stop is. The doors to the adjoining carriage slides open as Elias wanders in to see if the others know the reason for the stop. As the side door to the first carriage opens, a sickly, gaunt man with patches of hair on his head step in. Despite his fragile, ragged appearance, the man wears an extremely expensive suit and bears a clipboard in his hands. He eyes his clipboard, and without taking his pupils away from the paper before him, he hisses out at the gathered kindred. Names.
Slip.
Marcelina cocks her gun and says, Marcelina.
Slip. What a beautiful sight you are. You do well treating this one right, Marcelina.
She gives him a toothy grin in response.
Slip-chan. Up. Slip-chan. Are you well? If you are with hunger, I can have something brought for you.
Oh, you know what? I'm never one to turn down hospitality when it is offered.
Of course. And he'll just sort of lean out of the carriage and make a gesture that you can't quite make out. As two rats just come stumbling into the carriage and begin to walk their way around Slip's ankles.
Oh, look at that.
He's one of yours.
He will scoop them up. Hello. You ever been dead, little guy?
And you may slake 2 hunger for taking both of them.
I will enjoy the contents of one of them, and then can I pocket the other?
Yeah. Gonna be 1 hunger.
Perfect. Yes.
I was expecting more of you in this coterie. Where are they?
Other cars.
The Gaki? Yes? Yes.
Yes.
Where are they? Bring them in here for head count, please. Sure.
Is Elias in here with us?
Yeah, Elias made it in. Yeah.
Okay.
Elias. Yes.
Would you mind going to get our friends?
Yes, of course. Elias would depart and go find Sato and Kenun.
Yep, no problem. You'll find them in their own carriage. Wonderful.
Hello. Oh, sorry.
No, carry on.
Hello, Sato, Kenun. There's a individual looking to speak to us all. He seemed rather fond of Slip.
Excuse me?
Yes, it was.
In what way?
Well, he came up to us asking for our names.
I want to get all up in that shit.
And then immediately started talking to Slip about if he needs anything to eat and anything at all, etc., etc. But he didn't offer any food to Marcelina or myself. That seemed a little rude.
Speaking of food,
Yes.
take care that you do not feed while we are here, dear Sato Rin. What she there is to be had is likely defiled, and trust me, dear one, consuming defiled she is a fate worse than death. Under no circumstances must we break this fast, on pain of torture.
Got it. No eating. No nothing. Oh.
He's this way, and Elias would lead them back to the cabin everyone else is in.
Sato's gonna storm in after Elias, like legitimately ready for a fight.
So the moment that Marcelina sees Sato storm in like that, she looks at Slip, and then just like a big broad smile comes on her face, and she just turns away and, goes back to her guns.
In the background, Kenun can be seen rolling his eyes.
Slip will rise and address the clipboard toting patchwork man. May I inquire as to what I may call you?
You may call me Shohin Kamli. Don't make me repeat that in that voice, please.
Sure. I'm gonna call you Shonuff.
I've been called worse.
By better, I'm sure. Certainly. It's just so I don't mispronounce your name and insult you. May I call you this thing?
If you wish.
It's better than me fumbling over that pronunciation.
That makes two of us.
God bless.
Don't do that.
I apologize.
Marcelina's cackling in the corner with her guns.
Right, so here are our companions.
Satorin, formerly of the Tremere, now Gaki.
Yes.
How does that happen?
Sato just kind of looks at the ground, does his best not to look at Slip. Luck of the draw.
Interesting. It doesn't matter. I just like to make conversation. Kenun. That name. That is not the name your parents gave you, is it?
Perhaps not. I never knew them.
So you have come to us after leaving your family?
So it would seem.
Very well. And Elias. Don't yawn around me, it's still early in the night. You brought
yes,
your followers with you, didn't you?
Yes.
Where are your cultists?
They are in the cabin over there. Would you like me to go get them?
No. They
Very
are all
well.
bound to you or follow your word, yes?
Yes.
And if they make trouble...
I guide them.
So you are the cult leader, very well. If they make trouble, you are prepared to be held responsible.
Well, I think everyone should be responsible and accountable for their own action.
They are cultists. You are kindred. That is not our way.
Yes, I believe I will be responsible for those under my protection.
Excellent. Meumi-sama has cleared your way forward. Anything you need that you did not bring will be waiting for you, including throat lozenges, I hope. You don't have much longer to wait. All of this seems in order. Make sure you have the same number when you return. Have a safe night's travel. The ragged kindred makes several check marks on his clipboard, turns wordlessly, and exits the train. The doors hiss shut behind him as the driver returns to his cab. A whistle blows, and the train kicks into life once more. Is there anything you would all like to talk about on the last leg of your journey?
Hey,
What was that?
Kindred Coachman.
Those of you that are able to speak Japanese will understand that his name literally means inventory keeper.
Marcelina, are you hungry?
Always.
All right. You get your cup.
Yes. And she pulls out her she's gotten herself a special cup. But it's a black, like a little black thermos that she has, and she hands it to him. She won't look at him while he...
with Shiv's permission, I will deposit 1 hunger worth of blood in the cup and then devour the second rat.
Do a rouse check for me, please.
Oh, sure.
Gain a hunger, drop a hunger.
As you say.
Wonderful.
Here you go.
Wonderful. And she'll put her little, boba straw in there, and as she drinks it, kind of looking at the group, and for a moment she looks almost childlike, or she was like
that makes it worse.
Then he'll kind of take the rat and kind of stuff it in one of the hornet holes, because they eat meat. So let's go, boys.
Waste not, want not.
Marcelina, very much, because she's gotten a little personal with Slip. Just draws up closer, and she's watching as they devour the meat. But her face is purely fascination with what they're doing. It's not really an interest in Slip. But yeah, so she's just peeking as they eat.
On the side, Kenun sort of sidles up to Elias. Beg pardon, Elias, dear. Do you happen to have a spare bandana?
Yes, of course. What kind would you like?
Matters not.
Does it blink? Is it like Elias's? What does it do?
Full on straight up eye.
I will give you a bandana with a smiley face.
Perfect!
Sato's gonna touch the stone on his forehead, kind of look at his hand and go, wait a minute, is that going to happen to mine?
Maybe someday, if you're lucky. And Kenun just sort of ties on the bandana.
Damn it, I don't know if I look good in bandanas.
Never fear. We can hide them. It's simply with the, Chi situation here, I feel it unwise to risk getting hungry.
Huh.
That's...
You can always get bangs. You've got long enough hair for it.
Bangs?
I mean, okay.
Kenun with bangs?
I'm just saying that there are other options other than bandanas,
I love that for Kenun. I wasn't complaining.
Well, not Kenun. Kenun seems fine with a bandana, but Sato, when he eventually gets his eyeball, he might want to cover it with bangs.
Again, in normal circumstances, there's no reason to cover it at all.
Bandanas are perfectly fashionable. Look at mine.
They are. You have a lot of them, Elias.
They don't fit everyone, is the thing. That's what we're saying here. They're fashionable, but they just don't look good on everyone.
Ooh.
Though...
It takes a special kind of person to pull it off, Elias.
I have a question about the kaki, right? I know you said that there's no there would normally be no reason to hide it. But do the Gaki not have, I don't know, the equivalent of Masquerade?
Oh no, what I'm saying is there's no reason to hide it with a bandana. Should I choose under normal circumstances, I can simply sort of waves his hand over his forehead as though to mime it not being there anymore.
Oh, fascinating. Okay.
Is that a trick you can teach others?
Oh,
I do not know, Elias.
don't know. That's a good one to ask.
Dare I say, the circumstance you find yourself in is indeed a curse passed down to you.
Wait. What?
Whoa,
Do you not know of the traitor Zaulat?
so that's why you have the third eye? You stole it from the Gaki? Or, well, not you,
I know
but...
it's a buzzword. Holy shit, Elias has got 3 eyes! You're
Oh,
Yes!
did you not... Oh, you didn't
No.
know?
No!
Oh, yeah! Elias, show him your eye.
What the fuck?
I mean,
Well,
we're safe here, right? So show him your eye.
You just got
I
so much
don't-
cooler.
Oh, goodness.
Show him your eye. Go on.
There's so much here.
Well,
Found out about
I-
it briefly a long time ago. They got brainwiped.
Under the peer pressure, Elias will undo his bandana and just like wink at Slip with the eye.
Holy. Never in my life did I need something so badly and not know about it until I received it. Thank you so much.
Elias
Wait,
will
what?
put his,
Nothing.
I heard about you, son of a bitch.
Elias will put his bandana back on. Yes, and it tends to tear up whenever I use the powers of the blood.
Oh. So you got like
So-
a little maxi pad on the inside of the bandana?
Oh, that's quite a brilliant idea. I've never thought about it. No, I
Yeah.
just
We have to,
I go through
we have
so
to
many
go to the feminine
bandanas
aisle
because
for Elias.
they tend
No,
to get
just-
soaked through.
Oh, just put a panty liner on that bitch. It'll be fine.
I'm sure that the females of his community will be able to aid him with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
We could get some at the drugstore if we need to.
But
Okay.
dare I say, to answer your question, Marcelina, yes, no, Elias did indeed inherit a stolen secret. And that, there, is
I'm
why
sorry.
my
Are we just
people-
going to skip over the fact that someone just decided Elias needs to, fucking sellotape a maxi pad to his forehead? Are we just going to carry on as normal?
That is a brilliant idea!
And you won't need the cellophane because it's got the sticky side on the other side. He just puts
You
that
just
on
put it
top
on
of
the
the bandana.
But
Boom.
those things are so
idea.
fucking expensive. He needs it more than once a month.
He can get the cloth washable kind?
I mean,
True.
There we
we can.
if he goes to his fucking cultist from it, they're going to be like, yes, I made a tampon from my hair.
As long as
We'll get Elias
I
hooked
mean-
up with the cloth washable kind. He can slip it in that bandana, nice and easy, problem soled.
I'll take him to a Walgreens, Shiv.
I
You
don't
know
think
what?
he'll want a tampon in there. I think that'll take the eye out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may be best to just put the,
Yeah, put the liner
this
on there.
conversation
Yeah.
has gotten real weird.
Yes.
Although now
Yeah.
I've had the idea, next time I have a cold, get 2 tampons and just do tissue walrus with those next time.
Oh, I have to.
You're gonna
I
get
have
to get
to
the tiny
find my-
ones.
Gonna have to find my
They come in
voice again!
sizes!
Yes!
I didn't know they come in
I'm
sizes!
learning so much.
Amazing!
Shiv,
We've
what the
all
fuck?
learned. We need to put the educational tag on this stream right fucking now.
There we go! We can put the educational tag on here.
I think we are getting way far off the topic. So,
And
right.
that, dear Marcelina, is why
Yes.
my people are so careful about sharing our secrets with your kind.
Understandable for sure. Wow. And one day our dear Sato is gonna have a blinking eye on his forehead. How cute!
Everybody gets one but me.
I mean, I
If
could.
you have a Sharpie slip, we could remedy that.
I mean, we could always. You know what we can do? Because they sell glass eyes. We can always get you a glass eye. Cut a little, and put it in there. Skin will heal around the glass. So there you go. You'll have
Oh, we could get a number of them. And fill the bee holes with eyes. How would you feel about that, Slip?
Oh, yeah.
There you
I don't know
go.
the bees would like that.
You can leave a few open.
I think they'd be
Like
pretty pissed,
windows.
actually.
They say
I can
eyes
tell
are the
when-
windows to the soul. In your case, it'd be
Yeah.
the windows to the bees.
I'll think about it. Ooh, maybe next Halloween I'll get a googly eye and slap that bitch on my forehead, but then I'll cover it with a bandana and I'll be a cult leader.
That gets an in-character laugh out of Kanoon.
Amazing. So Kanoon has a sense of humor. We are discovering all kinds of wonderful things today. Okay,
Oh,
really
you
hit
haven't
the
been
mark.
appreciating my jokes thus far.
you've been making jokes?
Yes.
Just like
Wow.
Haruto you are.
I guess I'll take that as a compliment. Anyway, so to business, perhaps.
Yes.
Well, a sort of business. What are y'all gonna do about eating? She says as she's like sips from her from her little thermos at Sato and Kanu.
For the time being, we must fast.
I
It is
have
not
my
worth the
hard
risk
with-
of consuming defiled chi.
Well, okay. So, Elias, you have your herd, so that takes care of you. Possibly also Slip, although I do know he has a penchant for rats. So,
Sure. Kanoon. Can I ask
Yeah.
you some questions?
By all means, perhaps I shall even answer them.
In order to feed, do you have to devour a whole dude? Or are there like
No.
other methods?
There are other methods.
Other methods I could assist with?
For the time being, I think not. In these circumstances, the risk of consuming defiled chi, even by accident, is too great. And though I myself may have other options, our dear Sato Rin at this time does not.
Okay. Well, if you can think of something I can do to assist with that, let me know.
Indeed, I shall, dear Slip.
I would certainly be willing to share my vitae, although we may need people to be ready to restrain somebody if they lose control of themselves.
just at me next time, Elias.
Not just you, Marcelina, but anyone who needs some vitae.
Well, we've got your people here. The
Absolutely
juice
not.
crew is in the back, right?
Well, yes, but I would appreciate it if everyone didn't treat them like disposable food. They are my flock. I guide them.
Well, you don't have to worry about me. They won't do nothing for me.
Sure. They feed you voluntarily, right?
Yes, it's part of a ceremony we perform.
Okay. Well, between you and that and me and Rat, Marcelina should be okay. And yeah, I guess as far as Sato, Rin, and Ken-un go, what is the... How do you two feed? I know I've seen Ken-un eat a dude. We all have. God knows it's happened enough. What are the other methods?
One may drink blood, as your kind does.
Okay, but from like a person, like a living being.
Yes.
Okay. I think we can
Oh,
work with that.
Now,
So
I do not know if Sato yet has the capacity to distill chi from such a source. At this stage in his development, the flesh may yet be necessary.
I mean, it would have. Wouldn't we have to attempt it?
Again, dear Sato, your situation is rather unprecedented.
Sato,
I'd rather not have to always eat somebody.
do you think a hand or an arm would be sufficient enough to satiate you?
Oh, yes, it could indeed help. I just find it rather cruel to leave somebody so impacted.
Finger food.
Could you eat, say, living animals?
Storyteller, we can, right? Like,
Yeah, but
is
they're
that a
not.
thing? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're nowhere near as satiating as a proper person. As animals' chi is far less than a human's.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I just wanted to triple check.
It's the
Yeah.
equivalent of blood bags for a kindred.
But in a pinch, I could call some animals for you, if you would like.
Again, the risk of tainted chi is an environmental hazard.
I don't think we can eat anything that comes from this area.
Yes.
If,
Oh.
Go ahead,
if-
Elias.
if the circumstances dire, I'm sure I could lend you a hand.
Elias, please
Forgive
don't let
me,
it
Elias. But I believe I shall
You-
pass.
be. I'm sorry, Elias. You.
I've cut it
You
off
always-
before.
Elias,
That's
you
not-
smell like awful.
You smell like
That's not
soot
the
and
don't-
issue,
poo.
Elias. I think they need living flesh, not us.
Yes, I'm terribly sorry. I'm still not quite alive yet. I'm still undead.
Amazing.
Okay,
Neat.
honestly, hold on. Now I'm on this. Elias, I have a legitimate question. Do you shower?
What?
For funsies, I imagine.
It has been I think the most recent shower I had was when we were all back at the Haven. Some mornings as a community building exercise, my followers and I, we get together as a group and shower communally.
Oh, okay.
Is that like
so-
a
okay.
test troll?
It saves
no one
on
else-
water.
Does someone else get that scent off of Elias?
Oh,
He
yes,
smells
actually, I've simply
wonderful.
been too polite to mention it.
I'm sorry, Elias. I'm surprised. I never noticed it before.
What do you mean?
I will lean
Elias
over and smell Elias point blank, nose on his
smells-
face.
Awful.
Elias smells like
Yes.
no, he does not. He smells
Oh.
like honey.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Entirely
It's been...
vile.
Oh, he smells like a honey ham. It's great.
It smells like
Delicious.
honey that's been made from a
Rancid.
rotting corpse.
Oh, well, that's because
No.
you got your new cocky nose. But I'm sure if you took a sniff at him when you were still one of us, then he'd smell good to you, too.
I assume, but oh god.
Oh, yeah, no, and it's not just him, though. Well, he's extra special, but most of his kind smell real delicious.
Yeah.
That
Yes,
sounds like a terrifying curse to have.
I've been told I'm extra enticing beyond those of my other kin.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps
Hold on,
what
if-
makes me smell irresistible to kindred is what makes me smell repulsive to Gaki.
Perhaps
Maybe.
indeed.
Oh. That
Well,
does
maybe
actually
it's
make
the stolen thing. That's why you smell bad. I mean, because I'm sure,
It is a corruption of our ways.
because I mean, I don't know, Sato, if you want to take a sniff, but I think most kindred probably don't smell like much to Gaki, but you specifically, given The
As
kind
I
you-
said, I've simply been too polite to mention it thus far.
Sato is actually gonna walk up to Marcelina and just vaguely smell her. Like,
Yeah, go ahead, have at it.
Nice.
You'll actually notice Marcelina wears like human perfume. She wears stuff. Yeah, so you'll smell whatever kindred smell like, but also you'll smell Egyptian musk.
is that
That was my stripper name.
You wear perfume?
I'm sorry?
Egyptian
What was
Musk
that,
was my
Sato?
stripper name. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, that caught me. It's like, you wear perfume?
Yes.
Smells very lovely, actually.
Thank you. A little trick I learned from one of my teachers growing up. It's good to smell good to others. Makes them want to be close to you.
Oh. Marcelino,
Yeah.
question. As I understand it, funeral homes and morticians, they use a specific type of makeup when they are making a body presentable. It is made for cold skin, dry skin. Is that what you use?
Yep.
That is amazing.
Thank you. It helps because I can't be bothered to do that thing that most kindred do, where they make themselves look a little more alive. So it's easier when you can throw some makeup
True.
on. And she'll actually pull out of her she'll open one of her suitcases and you'll see like a bunch of weapons, but then you'll see like a small makeup case, and she shows off her makeup case, and it is literally the same makeup they put on corpses.
I knew it. Amazing. Outstanding.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I had a
It's starting
cousin
to
teach
feel
me
like a
how to do
slumber
it.
party.
Oh, well, it's not too bad to have some of those sometimes. Would you like me to braid your hair? I did learn to do that growing up as well.
I don't think I've ever had my hair braided.
Well, come on then, sit down. And she will kind of open up her legs a little bit so you could sit in between them, and she'll start braiding your hair.
There is a moment of like the very slightest hesitation, and then there's this moment of like, oh hell yeah. And he just sort of sits down and like lets his hair be braided.
Yeah. She's
And with a moment of deadpan irony, would you like me to braid your hair, Elias?
I don't see why not. That sounds like a good friendship team building exercise.
Yeah, that's what my cousin called it.
I guess I could finally say it. Sato's hair is like down to his like lower back. That's how long his hair is.
Yeah, you'll actually notice, I think not you because you obviously can't see it yet, but everyone else will notice that she is braiding his hair in a way that is like traditional to warriors. So it's meant to get hair out of your face, but there is like a particular design to it. And that's how she's braiding his hair.
As the train approaches the mountains and Yamagata, Kenon and Sato once more feel the cold shadow enter their bodies, becoming noticeably more pale, leaving them weak and shaky. Kenon, far more experienced, steels himself to not reveal any weakness to the rest of the coterie. Eventually the night train comes to a slow grinding halt in a small platform among the mountains. The winding steep roads around them are lined with houses, and there is little else that they can see, not even a metal fence to prevent anyone wandering into the train track. You gather up your belongings and approach the centre of the village, a small circle of soil lined with rough-cut stones and a sakura in the centre. Oddly, it is in full bloom. Its pristine pink-white petals are caught in the wind and carried away into the night. At the base, a small shrine seems to have been built on the outside of the circle, with small offerings of sake, azuki, and cigarettes placed around it. The coterie's haven is nearby, just on the other side of the road from where they are now. A large house with metal storm shutters awaits them. Coming along one of the side roads from above is an older man dressed in extremely old-fashioned clothes, a bamboo hat umbrella hanging over him. Dark black rain clouds roll in above him as rain pours down. And anyone with sensory unseen, please roll. Anyone with chi sight, please roll.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Would I have noticed as I was braiding Sato's hair him get paler?
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. You would have watched him kind of like grab his chest for a minute and pull forward. He's
We all
not
want to
built
grab
handle
Sato's
this.
chest.
Yeah, I'd say Sato
No,
was
I-
looking visibly weaker, and Kenun, who normally looks like pretty dang alive, is looking a little bit more dead.
Okay. And then, would Oblivion Sight work in this space?
Actually, yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes, I'll give you Oblivion Sight, actually, and that's an automatic success with Oblivion Sight.
Yeah.
Kenon, did you want to roll Chi Sight?
I got distracted.
It's alright.
That would be this button.
Ooh, nice.
Very nice. So, Elias.
God.
Elias, you cast your gaze over the Sakura, and the tree, and this is for Marcelina as well, the tree has an aura of death around it. Around its base is a ghostly white aura. Sato, you don't see anything, although you feel that there is something on a different plane. Kenun, however, you see that the tree has a large red hand wrapped tightly around its main trunk. The many branches just stem through the hand seamlessly. Kneeling at the tree's base, completely still, are several transparent figures dressed all in white. And, sense the unseen again, please.
Since the
Oblivion
unseen
Sight
again?
will not work for this one.
Okay. So for Oblivion Sight, what I saw is just the white aura.
An aura of death around the tree, and around the base a ghostly
Okay.
white aura. Elias,
Okay.
the man walking down the street, has a dominantly white aura with a layer of blue surrounding it. And at this point, we'll take a well-earned break. And be right back. Welcome back, everybody. The Coterie have caught sight of a Sakura. Some of them are able to see more than others. Slip, however, just sees a beautiful tree in the wind. Walking down the street is an incredibly old-fashioned dressed man wearing a bamboo hat umbrella combo with rain clouds hovering over him. As the man approaches you in the rainstorm overhead, your haven in front of you, what would you all like to do?
Take my box inside.
There's a solid moment where I'm just staring at the tree with an expression of thinly veiled horror.
I think Elias would smile with a friendly smile and walk forward and greet the man. Oh, hello! You're looking awfully calm and serene this evening. Is there anything we can do to help you?
Old man speaks in Japanese, as if a little old-fashioned, to say the least, and says to you, "Good evening. Would you take my umbrella, please?"
Why, certainly. If that's something that, yes, I can provide you with assistance. I'd be happy to take your umbrella.
Marcelina has Oblivion Sight up and goes from looking at the tree to looking at Elias and this gentleman he's speaking to.
Yep.
Is this man alive, or is he a spirit of some kind?
I will say you're not getting anything from Oblivion sight off him.
I have a question. When we did Chi Sight, were we just looking at the tree, or can we Chi Sight this man?
You can use Chi sight on the man, but it is a contested. It's a contested role.
Well, now why the hell not? We can try. I'm looking around like, what's happening, Elias? Who are you talking to?
Yeah, you can all see the man, and the rain clouds over him.
Yeah. So now I'm like, excuse me. That's could have been better.
Could I scry the soul too?
Nope.
While they're doing that? Okay.
Doesn't have a soul.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm gonna draw closer to the tree.
Nothing happens.
I
to
think
draw
when
close to the tree.
Marcelina when Marcelina
Sato,
draws closer to the tree, I think Kenun would actually like try to stop her.
Sato, you are able to see, as you will chi to your vision and mind, that this old man is not what he appears to be. Though it's not presenting itself as an aura, the man himself, his flesh slowly fades away, and you merely see a skeleton wearing an extremely old-fashioned bamboo umbrella hat combo.
Immediately, Elias! And I'm gonna run over to Elias.
Yep.
I'm going towards the tree.
Yeah, hand on shoulder, Marcelina.
Believe it or not, we need to deal with the old
Yeah.
man first. That's a far more pressing task.
Okay. Well, Marcelina's response to Kenun grabbing her shoulder, she'll look up at him with her eyebrow up.
So, Sato, as
What
you're
is
running
it?
towards Elias, as he's just extending a hand to grasp the Casa hat combo, what would you like to do?
Do I think I'm gonna get to Elias in time?
Yeah, he's not miles and miles away. He's
I
very
start
close.
looking
Then-
over my shoulder.
If I can get to Elias, I'm just gonna walk up like right next to Elias and just slap his hand.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna stare at the old man. And I'm gonna pull Elias, like, as I'm like trying to back up, I'm pulling him by his shoulder with me. And I'm gonna look at the old man and go, who are you?
Would you hold my umbrella, please?
And just the process of thought of, sorry, we can't. Elias, come on, you need to go. Go, now.
As Sato would shoo Elias away. Must be like I don't see what the problem is with being hospitable to strangers.
That is not a normal stranger, Elias.
Well, I know normal strangers don't have rain clouds over their heads, but we've dealt with others before. Remember the serpent woman with the baby? I think we handled that rather well.
Sato doesn't know that.
What?
Oh,
Fuck
I'm
Elias.
sorry, Sato. I think that was before you joined our coterie.
Noriona.
Listen, Elias. Elias.
Yes.
And he just taps the jaw quick. I can see. That is not an old man. Do not talk to him. Do not touch him.
Do not
And
take sweets
I-
from
Come
him.
back out of the house.
I already got everything I could get from him with Sense the Unseen, right? Okay.
At this point,
And-
as no one else has gone into the house after Slip, he's going to step back outside, confused, stand on the porch.
And you'll just see this old man who's, he's resigned himself to having to wear the hat and is walking off down the street. Very localized, torrential rainpour is just centered around him, and he walks out of sight. But you will see Marcelina and Kenun possibly in the middle of some moment, we'll say.
Yeah, a hand on Marcelina's shoulder. Leave it. It is a cursed thing. And again, like, he's got an expression of thinly veiled horror, like... He doesn't emote much with his face, but he's kind of emoting right now.
Two things. That makes Marcelina want to go near the tree more. But also, because she's never seen him really react to anything that way, she'll take that as a warning and will say, let's discuss this more inside then, shall we?
Thank you.
Don't thank me yet. And she'll head towards the group to go inside.
The haven is large enough to accommodate each of the kindred, and also has living space for Elias's cultists. Downstairs is almost one open room, with wooden and paper doors on slides. A long varnished wooden table surrounded by chairs rests in the middle of the floor. Upon its smooth surface is a small printout from Booble Maps, showing a route from their haven to Yamagata City, and the station the bullet train is going to use. The only side room is a large utility room and built-in shower bathroom.
Well, I think this is an awfully nice haven to be living in for the time being.
Yeah.
It's quite spacious.
Decent sized. Are we good?
Yes, why would we not be good, Slip?
I don't know. There was an old guy, and it was raining on him. And are we good? Everyone good?
Apparently, we've got a cursed tree in the front yard.
Are you fucking with me?
Nope.
It is always some shit, isn't it?
Always.
The tree
Welcome
is undeniably in the grip of Yama.
Yama.
So what does that mean for you two? What does that mean for us?
Don't touch it.
Anything else?
When I looked at the tree, I saw that it very much had an aura of death about it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And then a pretty white aura
Mm-hmm.
just beneath.
Okay, raise
Yeah, I
your
would like-
hands if you
would like-
don't have magic eyes. Flip will raise his hand.
I would like
Marcelina
to
will
repeat,
turn on Oblivion Sight.
to repeat
I think
the
it's-
coterie of the vibes I saw with the hand and the everything. That's getting relayed
Oh.
here.
Okay, so just repeat that for me. You saw, what is it, like a red hand around the tree itself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
can we get that description again?
Certainly.
Uh.
It is
And we'll just pretend it's Canoon telling us.
Yeah,
A
I'm
large-
taking notes.
a large red hand wrapped tightly around its main trunk, many branches just seamlessly jutting through it, kneeling at the base of the tree, completely still as several transparent figures dressed all in white.
Okay, so we don't touch the tree. We order the ghouls not to touch the tree. We order the juice crew not to touch the tree. And then no one goes near the tree?
And no one talked to the old man.
What's
What
By
was
the way,
old man?
Shiv, can I search my brain hole? What the fuck was that old man? Is that an occult?
I can't. I'm going to let you have that for free for searching your own brain. I cannot remember the name of the legend around the man, but he is one of those odd niches that's not a Yurei, but not an Oni kind of thing.
Okay.
And his curse is to walk around certain prefectures and offer his hat to anyone that's willing to take it, who will then have the same curse that he has and be covered in constant rain.
Relay that when asked what the old man is. Not an old man. Curse. Do not touch.
Okay.
So, cursed man, cursed
What the
tree.
And then there's a knock
Is the house
at the
cursed?
door.
Oh, God.
Elias would go to the door.
Elias! Stop!
Bless his heart. No, he's doing what his soul needs to do.
It's gonna be killed.
Marcelina will back up Elias. She'll go and stand behind him as he opens the door.
And standing on the concrete ramp under the night sky on the doorstep to the haven is a kindly-looking elderly woman. She looks up at you and smiles and says in perfect Japanese, "Good evening. Sorry to bother you so late, but I wanted to welcome you to the village. It's so rare we get new arrivals. And your gaijin, too. How lovely. We don't see gaijin here often. Well, ever. Unless they're visiting. But since you're moving in, I thought I would tell you a little about the area. It's seen some changes lately."
That's where
How
Kenan
recent
drifts
were
over to
these-
stand behind them as well.
How recent were these changes, if you don't mind me asking? Marcelina says back in perfect Japanese.
Just a little bit over a month. Your Japanese is wonderful.
Thank you. I took great care to learn it. It's a beautiful language.
Sakura is a blessing. They usually only bloom for a few days, and never at this time of year, and it's been blooming for over a month now, but only at night. By the time the morning comes, the petals have all been blown off the tree. By the start of the night, it is back in full bloom. There have been some folks walking around here that don't even live here, but it's fine, so people pass through here day and night.
Other than the tree, Marcelina says, kind of like talking over him so that she can't hear what he's saying. She'll say, so other than the tree, have you noticed anything different going on in the village?
The woman's head darts straight up at you. Her neck cracks from a sudden movement, and her eyes open wide as her pupils dilate, filling her bloodshot eyes with black. She looks almost through you and says suddenly, in English, "This place is ours. The defiled land is not for you. Leave this place." She exhales and looks around confused as her eyes returns to normal, and returns to speaking in Japanese. "Gomen nasai. I've not been feeling too well recently. The house near to mine has been making loud, strange noises at night, keeping me awake. Though it has let me come and welcome you to the village, so not a total loss at least."
Thank you for welcoming us. Perhaps we can talk more on the morrow. I think it best you go home and rest.
She'll give you a bow and wish you good night.
I'll bow back and I'll shut the door.
So then, yes.
So, I'm pretty sure she and probably most of the villagers are possessed by some kind of demon. So that's fun. Or wraiths. You can be possessed by them too. So, some things to know. I'm gonna, so with Oblivion Sight, I'm gonna start looking around the house to see if there's any ghosties or weird things that exist in the house.
Nope.
It seems our home is clear of any spiritual oddities.
Kenan just sort of out the window, staring at the tree again.
So
Great.
Anything in particular you're trying to see when you're looking at the tree, Kenan?
No, just looking at it.
Okay.
Just ominous.
How?
It's just
It's-
lurking there.
Canun. Use your third eye, Canun.
It's
Yes, go ahead, Elias.
it's a shame that it's the spirits that plaguing these people. I'm not very familiar with spirits. I fear there's a little I could do.
Oh.
Beyond just spirits, this place is cursed.
Bless you.
I'm pretty
There's
sure
pepper
it's got
in the air
something
as well.
with demons. Yes, I don't know. I think I might be allergic. Can Kendrick be allergic to things? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Demons are a thing too. Interesting thing with demons is, well, there's no real killing them. Possible ways to send them back where they came from, but that's that. And wraiths are tough to deal with too, if I'm honest. Would have been real useful to have Tremere. They could do wards.
Shiv.
Alright, that just felt like it was targeted.
Yes.
The Shiv.
Yes.
With 2 occult and 4 intelligence, could I have Slip, who has been in this country for a while, use his very smooth brain to try to recall any folky, pokey, homespun garbage that might help against spirits if you were going to not actually have magic powers, but do something traditional and from the area that is commonly accepted that might have validity to it, no matter how minor.
I would like to, if I
Yeah,
can,
alright, roll it.
make this. I would like to make. Wait, hold on. I'd like to make this
Sure.
argument of maybe Marcelina giving him a +1, not based on any actual skill she has, but rather just from being Hakata and the family, kind of watching her more necromantic cousins doing what they do, maybe help in that.
I was gonna say, if Marcelina can't, like, Kenun's over here, like, yo, hi.
Yeah,
So can Sato, because he's
Yeah.
a Japanese occultist.
So we'll get some
That's
Plus
3.
3 then? Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doing big
Help
brain
a
moves
brother
right
out.
now.
Yeah.
You're not going to like the answer, but yeah.
We have to sacrifice Elias.
Okay, it's a crit.
Definitely not going to like the answer.
Hold on now.
Well,
Stop. I will re-roll the black 10 and the 2 1s
Why?
so that I don't. It's a messy crit. I don't want to chimp out in the middle of our new haven.
You're not gonna
I don't think would he chimp out in this
I don't think
scenario.
you can chimp out on this.
It's a messy crit. Of course, I'm gonna fucking.
Yeah,
It's
do you want him
okay.
going all cryptophilic, like, oh, I did not know the thing, I must know the thing now.
It's
I mean,
Bigfoot. He's here in Japan.
I'll just
All right,
slap
I'll
him around a few times. I'll be fine.
Jesus Christ! I'm gonna re-roll those 3 dice I said, Shiv. God. All right, there we go.
Sometimes Marcelina is a little bit of a satite. Sometimes.
I should have just kept it. I could have kissed it out of you or some shit.
That's 4 successes.
With 4 successes, you will know that some spirits respond to offerings, but they can never truly be banished.
Okay.
Like I
What
said,
kind of offerings would you use to keep cursed spirits from fucking with your firmware?
Your smooth brain hasn't got a fucking clue.
So here's my thought, guys.
uh-huh.
What if we made some offerings, right? I don't know what, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing, right?
Offerings to
I'll
the
tell you
demon
what.
spirits outside, you mean?
You have limited information at the moment. The woman dropping that the house next to her is making ungodly noises at night will probably lead you towards a clue if you investigate it.
So, I've got an idea. That woman most definitely possessed. And she said that there are some weird ass noises that come outside the house, or come around the house at night. It's nighttime. Everybody's settled in. We'll make sure our humans, our very human humans, remain inside and don't touch anybody. And we'll go investigate and see what we find.
Greet the new neighbors, as it were.
Exactly. They were so kind to do it for us. We might as well help them out where we can, right?
Sure.
Where I'm from, they call it Southern hospitality. So I think it's only fair.
I think we're in the northern sections of Japan. I don't.
I'm from the south of the U.S. is what I meant. But okay.
I know. I'm trying to dodge. Sure. Elias, do you have any incense we could burn as an offering? Otherwise,
I don't think that's gonna work.
we can do both. If it doesn't work, the house smells great. What a nightmare. Right?
Are you scared of ghosts?
Are you not?
No, not
I
at all.
assume he doesn't want any more figures crawling out of screens. You do remember that, don't you, Marcelina?
Oh, I do. That shit was nasty. I won't
Yeah,
lie to
messing
you.
with my computer, first of all. And then secondly, you told me about a guy that if I take his hat, I'll become a guy forever who wants people to take my hat? Yeah, that's fucking scary. Objectively, yes. Correct. Yep.
Just don't speak to strangers on the street. It's very simple.
I don't know. I have a cousin who likes to make out with the dead, so it is what it is. Anyway, what were you gonna say, Elias?
A fucking minute.
Cousin, like, single, or...
Well,
Wait, what?
Elias, what were you gonna say?
To answer Slip's questions, yes, Slip, you are the only member of the Coterie without supernatural sight. So, we can all see things, and you cannot. I am sorry, but I'll make sure to let you know if there's
Dare I
anything
say?
of concern.
He has electronic sight, does he not?
Yes, it does. I do believe that humans have figured out some fun technological ways to see things from the beyond. Maybe you can do something like that, Slip.
Yes, Slip. We cannot see into the, what is it called? Cyberspace? So that is a dimension that only you can see.
Precisely.
Sure. Me and the other Beetleborgs will get right on that.
As for the incense, yes, my cultists, my followers have
Go on!
my followers have plenty of incense. I can
We're
let them know that they're free to burn them all throughout.
There you go. At least we'll have our house protected.
Sure.
How does that sound, Slip?
I don't think you can just burn it. I think you have to have the intent of making an offering to spirits.
Now hold on. And Marcella will call out for her ghouls. And when they appear to her, she will ask them, do you have ways in which, traditionally amongst your people, to ward off spirits from the home?
Once they're in the home, or to just keep them out?
Or just to keep them out?
And they'll go over various things. There's the once a year where you throw soybeans, I think, outside of the window, and you literally tell spirits to go away as a sort of ritual annual cleansing.
Soybeans.
Then one will say, there's a very, very old tradition that hasn't been practiced for many years. You would put
and which
salt
one is
across the
that?
doorway.
Oh, I think that's an excellent idea. A little table salt right in front of the doorway. Set with the intention of warding off any spirits that may want to enter without our permission. I think that's a good idea.
Also very useful for keeping ants and snails out.
Nod, nod.
Perfect. So we're gonna exit and go do a little look-see of the town, and I want you to do that for me. Do not open the door for anyone. Do I make myself clear?
Anyone.
Anyone. We have a
Understood.
key, so we'll walk right in.
Understood,
But
Master.
anyone else is not allowed in. Good girl. Now, that's settled. Let's go check out the neighbors. Yeah?
Yes, I thank you. I feel much better now. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Let's go,
What's your cousin's name?
Why do you need to know?
What? I'm curious.
Maribel, but, why? Do you want me to give you her number, or?
Does she need, like, tech assistance?
I
Do you
mean,
think she would benefit from them?
for sure. Everyone in the family would benefit from something like that, so.
Alright.
Yeah.
We can talk more about this later. Let's go say hello.
Yeah, let's go deal with some ghosts. Come on, then. You coming, Sato?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Good. Right. So, and Marcelina will step outside first. But she's going to look at this tree as they're walking by. With her, special eyes. Is she able to see any shifts or changes, like responses to them being here?
Nope.
Especially after having spoken to the neighbor who had, like, a weird possession moment.
Nope.
Okay. All right, well. Yeah, off to the neighbors we go.
The Coterie make the decision to investigate the house near the old lady. Heading out into the mountain crisp air, the sounds, insects chirping surround the Coterie as they step out into the village and begin to walk along the narrow, cracked road, sticking to the dusty side path with scattered loose stones crunching under their feet. The Coterie find a house standing alone at the end of a side road. A brick chimney juts out from a small building made entirely of metal sheets, and a larger house stands to the side of it. Wooden panels are loose or dropping off, exposing the inside of the walls. Windows have been boarded up with rusted metal sheets haphazardly placed over the panes. A small set of wooden steps lead up to the porch, and the door, sealed behind two weathered planks of wood. What would you like to do?
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah. She said that these things have been... The tree itself wasn't here until about a month ago. That's when a lot of this weird shit started happening.
Sure.
The sort of the setup of the home, does it look like disrepair that can happen over a month?
More than a month.
Okay, that's even weirder. Got it. Okay. Well, I'll just say, like, preemptively, Marcelina just has Oblivion set up the whole time. Just in case,
And you will see that the house has a death-like aura, as does the shed.
As does the shed. Is there one that seems stronger than the other?
The house is definitely stronger than the other.
The house, okay. Okay. Well, I don't know about you lot, but this house is reeking of death. I'd hazard a guess that maybe most of the occupants inside are no longer alive, and they're just being puppeted.
Oh.
The lady at the door is dead.
It's very possible. Side note, ST, am I right on that? Like, that is a possibility, that the body could be just being puppeted around by a wraith?
Yes, but it would still be alive. Possession doesn't kill the host.
Okay. No. I meant that, like, maybe they were killed and then whoop, wraith popped in and is...
Oh, wraiths. I don't think wraiths can do that.
But okay.
Wraiths don't inhabit dead bodies. They have to inhabit the living.
Okay, so they need a live body.
If they inhabit a living body, they're arisen, which is a different thing.
Okay.
It's more like the
So yeah, I will sort of correct myself then. So, actually, and it's something that they have in common with the Gaki, spirits inhabit a body, and then they are risen for a new life in that body. So, in demon possession, it gets a little weird, but that's something else.
Is there a way for us to tell with our magic eyes that we all possess?
I mean, to be honest with you, Elias and Sato and Kennen probably have a better shot at being able to tell more detail about that, but that's as far as I know. Both the house and the shed are reeking of this deathly energy.
How about...
Go ahead, Elias.
Oh, I was just going to say, I can certainly take a gander at the house.
Oh, the shed, too.
And the shed.
Mm-hmm.
Please
do.
I was gonna say, me and Ken probably should be cheese-sighting this.
Yeah.
You sure you want to?
I spy with my gaki eye.
I'm sorry, pause. What'd you say?
I said, are you sure that the Gaki want to use cheese sight?
Ooh, given you guys can't.
Yeah, we are fasting right now.
Yeah, so if you get hungry or anything on these checks, like,
Right.
you can't.
How about Elias take a peeky poo around, and if we need to, I can knock on the door to maybe borrow a cup of soybeans, and then you can stare at her really intensely while I do that. Perfect.
You have beautiful eyes.
Thanks, Hedgehog Husband.
Oh, yeah, like that.
Elias! You see the aura of death over the house. You see a white-blue aura over the house and shed.
Well, I see twin over the house. I see an aura of death, and then I also see a white blue aura over the house and shed.
What does that mean?
Would I know what the aura means?
If you
Or
roll
would
intelligence in a cult, you might.
Okay, I will.
Gaki
And
would
can I help
not.
with that?
Nope, because Gaki
Last.
don't see auras
Wait.
in the same way that Kindred do.
Wait! Can
Okay.
I roll to figure it out? Because I used to be Kindred and I had sensed the unseen.
You can give a +1 assist to Elias.
Alright, Elias, take a +1.
Hey, your abomination existence pays off!
Hey, 0.
Great.
The fuck on!
Sticking with
Marcelina
it or
just
reroll?
smiles.
I guess I'll reroll. My willpower is pretty weak at the moment, though, but I'll reroll.
Yeah, that's much better.
Better than before. Yeah.
Blue-white can mean calm in kind. It can also mean the presence of something spoopy and ghost-like.
It's a house of fucking ghosts.
Well,
The presence of a tree.
the blue-white aura often means that they are innocent or calm. But it could also mean that there's some sort of spiritual activity or something of the sort.
Looking at the tree outside, I think that should be a given.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to take the latter option.
Okay. So how do we help these people?
Oh, well, we'll have to probably get inside to know a bit more. But I do want to let you know, all of you, I don't know. I think it still applies with the Gaki, but Kindred can be inhabited by wraiths too. I've got a cousin who does that for rituals. It lets the wraiths get inside and do a thing, but just so you know.
Oh.
And then Marcelina will go up to the door and she'll knock.
Oh,
Cool.
As you approach the porch and front door, waiting, sheltered under the overhanging, rusted, broken shelter tucked away by the side of the door, is a small, wrapped gift box. The kanji symbol scrawled upon the box reads, Ken, meaning fist used with or as a weapon.
Huh.
It's also the exact same kanji that Ken-un uses for the first part of his name.
So, Marcelina will turn slightly and say, Canoon, there's a gift here for you.
Sort of approaches,
This is a bad plan.
looks at box.
She'll point out the kanji and then kind of giggle.
Gentle shake, listens to it. And yeah, just open the box.
You unwrap the gift box and inside you find assorted Azuki-based sweets and mochi. Fresh.
Oh, wait a minute now. Offering. Perhaps this is an offering.
Oh, and we took it. They're gonna love that.
No, we can still use it as an offering, just that there was a demon. Well, ghost. I don't know.
Huh?
Japan's funny when it comes to supernatural things like that. When we first got here, you remember this, Elias? The lady who made bone saw hands? You remember that?
Huh?
Norisaki
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, and the offering was that should have been given was candy. I think I shot her in the head instead, but
Oh,
Oh,
maybe a clue to what's in
offer?
here.
that's
Oh,
fucking
man,
dope,
or
first
shoot
of all.
someone.
I'm telling you. Okay. So, did someone leave that here as an offering, or is that intended for us to use as an offering?
Could be either. I don't actually know.
Because if someone left that here as an offering, and then we pick it up and open it,
Mhm.
We're stealing from the spirits that were supposed to get the offering, and
Are we? We could just seal the box back up and give it as an offering ourselves.
re-gifting right in front of them. Yeah, we can try it. I'm down.
Well, I don't know. Do you have a better idea?
Yeah, bulldoze the village. Comes
That's
to
not.
mind.
You know
Yeah,
that's not.
yeah. Sure. Wrap it back up and knock on the door, I guess.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
God bless.
And she knocks.
You knock,
Can we shoot ghosts?
only when they're solid. You can knock on the door, and you find that it gives way, even with the weathered planks that are meant to seal it in, and exposes the damp hallway before you.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, just to reiterate, I have Oblivion set up, so if anything wants to come and try to pop out of nowhere, I'll see it coming. Right. Marcelina will unholster her gun, and she will take a step inside.
Flip's gonna follow, like, directly behind.
Stay close.
He'll look back over his shoulder at the two Gaki and just kind of make like a wait here motion. Whether they follow or not, I have no clue. But
Yeah, I don't know if Elias is going to follow too, but Marcelina does say, "Stay close." If you come inside.
Elias would proceed with the.
Kenon and Sato staying back?
Real quick,
Sato's gonna
examine the box to see if there's anything about, say, like the writing, the, I don't know, choice of wrapping that might ring any bells.
Wits and awareness, please. That's fine. Kenun, you will recognize that these sweets aren't local. They come from Hiroshima, which is a very, very big distance from where you are right now.
Nods to himself.
And at this point,
Continues to carry box.
are you Sato and Kenun going in?
Sato is gonna look to Kenu and like gesture. Are we staying here? Or
Are we? I'll be frank, I wasn't paying attention.
Probably
They just went
halfway
in.
in already.
Fuck it. Let's go in. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
And at this point, we'll bring an end to the session. And you'll deal with the house next week.
Hey.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh boy, oh boy.
So, first of all of our players have made use of the unofficial player's guide from our good buddy Bully over on TableGoth. You can get that in the link in chat, which is there, hopefully, at some point. That said, lovely.
It's there.
Something works at least. Jesus. Elias! Here are you. What you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I am Naskavian. I play Elias, and you can see me every Friday on Table of Horrors, right here. You can
Lovely.
always message me in Discord too. I might respond eventually.
Well, that's lovely. Very considerate. Marcelina, who are you? What you do? Do you do things? Are you the only undead hitman in the village?
I am. Hello, everyone. I am Chastity. I play Marcelina here in Nihon Nights on Table of Horrors. I do a bunch of things that you'll probably see in the future. Also, I've done things on TableGoth, so go check that out. And Lanyap Gaming, we are live every Tuesday and Sundays. We play all kinds of TTRPGs. Because that is what I do, TTRPGs. If you'd like, you can follow me on the interwebs at the Risa Rave. It's the same everywhere, where I post all my updates for the TTRPG things and projects and whatnot is Twitter, so that's the one to follow. And yeah, that's it.
I can't think of a decent accent, so Slip! Who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Hi. My name is Vamp Daddy, and amongst my many talents, struggling with self-promotion is one of them. I stream variety here on Twitch. I'm on Twitter. Vampire Father. We just finished up Arcade Paradise, and I'm going to be playing Vampire for the next week or so. And then I'm here on Fridays, every Friday.
Slip is one of my favourite online entertainers.
Thank you.
Sato! Who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I am Softy. I am also a Softonomicon on basically every social media that I could or wanted to gain. I'm a variety streamer. I do art. I do video games. Lately, been doing a Sims challenge because my brain was melted, but I did it. And I am Sato Rin here, and hopefully other characters eventually, because I love you, Shiv, and I want to be in every game you've ever run. You are my lovely hedgehog husband.
Wavu.
Love you too.
I'm usually all for what you're saying. Where'd you go, Mr. X fan? But the Red Mist is actually canon. I've got the SI book now, trying to look it up. We covered it in a previous game, actually. They're not entirely sure what it was made from. It's possibly blessed in the Vatican and made up of some strange chemical, but it's not actually used as much as it's used in Blood Hunt. It's meant to be used in a far less role, usually pumped into a haven to force a kindred out, or just a very small area. It shouldn't be used outdoors. It's a fucking gas. I'm trying to find the fucking page that it's on. In the meantime, while I look for that page, Kenon, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Hi, I'm Day. You can find me on social media as Daybreakathon. I stream, commit fictional arson here on Twitch over at Daybreakathon. Written a couple of fantasy novels. Check those out if you get the chance. Good stuff. And I did the character art for Kenun, Slip, and Sato Rin. Also, my dog says hi.
Hello, doggo. Velum Sanctuary is the official name for Holy Veil. That is the red gas. From the Order of St. Leopold, keeps tight control of the experimental weapon, releasing it only on the highest value targets. So it's one of those things where it's kind of canon, but they're not using it right in Blood Hunt. Yeah. I will say, at least people who play it enjoy it, but yeah, I don't think it's a very good reflection on Vampire the Masquerade as a whole game either. But then, if you think about it, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, that last third of the game, is not a very good reflection of Vampire the Masquerade either, when you're just basically gunning and shooting either.
Blood Hunt, to be clear, Blood Hunt is meant to be like World of Darkness's version of like Fortnite, but with vampires, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what the red gas is. It's just meant to be the closing of the map.
When it was announced, we were all sat here like, a VTM Battle Royale?
Mm-hmm.
But they did it. Doesn't matter what we fucking think, they fucking did it. Better they make a decent game than a shit game with the vampire name.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Shiv. My brother wanted me to remind everyone that I have a brother who watched the stream. So I'll just shout out to McGillicuddy.
What was his word of the week?
He wanted me to slip in that I have to go see Dr. McGillicuddy, but it's like, where the heck can I slip that in?
It's one of your followers.
Yeah, one of your followers.
True.
Oh, okay.
Dr. McGillicuddy.
Shit, they've changed the fucking dashboard buttons now. There it is. We will go a raiding on... we'll go a raiding on D&D Roll Call, because they were good enough to raid us in the past, so we'll return the favour. It looks like they are playing Dungeons and Dragons. Never heard of it.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah? Sounds a bit
I think
niche.
I got a couple things on that.
Okay. But legally, we are not allowed to go until Kenon says the line.
I'm a duck.
Wow. Wow.